Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again. We're on our last stop of Inside the Headset. It's Week 8, it's Game 8, and I've got with me the head coach of the Blackman Blaze, head coach Kit Hartsfield. How you doing, Coach?
Doing good.
Well, had a break and everything, took a little time off. How'd that go for you?
It went great, just to kind of get refreshed and basically kind of treat it as a midpoint of the season, even though we've played more than half of our 10 games, with the playoffs coming up, we're really about at the midpoint. So just to kind of get refreshed in that moment as coaches and players and as a program as a whole, and get healthy was kind of the main thing we had to do. And I really think we're real close. We're as healthy as we've been since halftime of the Alcoa game. So
that's a long time ago, Coach.
Yeah, so it feels good. The energy was good this week, and I think it just was a great thing for everybody.
Well, you've got you really only need about 4 days away from yourself, just maybe away from the kids and you away from them and them away from you. You only need really about 4 days, and then those other days you kind of want to bring them back in and slowly kind of start to, all right, let's talk about this. And 3 games ago we were doing this is who we were, where are we going to be now? Is that kind of where you are? Are you kind of laying more of this stuff on the kids to, it's your team?
Yeah, we did a lot of reflecting, and we met a Monday morning before school, before we started back this week as a team. And it'd been easy in the position we're in for guys to lay out and sleep in and all that. We didn't have to worry about that. Everybody was here and everybody was ready to go, and just kind of make sure we refocused on the culture and standard and expectations and what we want to do moving forward. And then come out and start out with a good practice on Monday, and that's what we did.
So practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you mentioned I think you got Malone back, and he'll probably get some reps tomorrow night and everything. And defensively, your coaches, the guys you compete up against, they've been really impressed with your defense and anything. Any changes there, or any changes in your offense as far as these last 3 games as you go into, because unless the wheels completely fall off, Kit, you're headed to the playoffs. So, talked to a couple of coaches, so they're going to try to, do some adjustments and see if it's one of the 2 of those kids in this game tomorrow night is kind of going to be in that situation where you can find out maybe 1 or 2 of those kids on the sidelines, and maybe it's time for you to step up, take it from there.
Yeah, it's, kind of like your last chance to get everything in place before, you make the last stretch run and go into the playoffs. And we've made several changes in all 3 phases of the game. Offensively, we had to reestablish our identity, and we didn't think we played tough in our last game, and we feel like our offense and special teams and defense need to reflect that. And we're trying a lot of guys out at mixing some O-line and some fullback guys in and getting all our running backs back healthy. Some's been playing hurt. Malone's been completely out, and Jackson's been playing
and we
hurt.
Knew that. Friday before the break, you getting down to where you just don't have that power running back or power fullback to get up in there and keep the defense honest. If you don't have that, it's really tough.
Yeah, and it's kind of musical
one
tailbacks.
hand,
kind of musical tailbacks each week. And Gibson is a great corner, and he's going to continue to help us there at running back, which we basically asked him to go do it, versus Oakland, which ain't really fair to do, but it's something he's always open for. And Keontae Newsom's healthy, so he's going to be helping us out on defense a lot.
Big old long-legged kid that can get up and down the field in a nice stride.
So a lot more guys will be playing both ways now that they're healthy, and now that the weather's changed, some O-line and D-linemen playing, and just making sure we're going down with guys that'll fight till the end no matter what.
I guess you had to be impressed with Coach Creasy's special teams. Everybody's impressed with it. Just asking you from a coach and everything, is he studying timing? Does he know that your punter's got only 2 seconds, 3, or is he that scheming that he's working against you? You're a coach, you know what he's doing. Tell me out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're they've always impacted the game greatly on their punt return, which is really their punt block unit.
Really?
And it causes you as a punt team, every time you punt, you're extremely nervous that they're going to block it or something bad could happen. And we really focused a ton on protection and getting it out quick, and Burks did a great job.
He did,
but
Coach.
when you focus on that protection, and you get it to a guy like Stevenson with a lot of space, he can do something with it, and that's, they kind of countered back with, they might have had the block on, or half of them blocking and half of them returning, but the coverage ain't as good when you have to focus on protecting that much. And so when a good player like that's able to get a good field on it clean, and the early punt return was really the difference in the game from the beginning. And they've done it each and every week. So you've got to find a way to neutralize that phase of the game versus a team like them.
I've talked to some of the coaches, and last night especially, about some of those kids in the classroom. You got a lot of kids out here doing a great job on the field, but there's a couple of them, man, they busted all the way around. I mean, they hit the books, they're here on time, it's yes ma'am and no ma'am, and you know that they're going to be real good, successful kids when they go on and everything. Could you share with us just a couple of those names? Because you know what, they may get an award in the football banquet, and I was a 4.0 and I've been the whole time, or whatever, or the scholastic athletic student or whatever. Throw me some names out there, Kit.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the kind of the goal of our program is to make them successful, after they leave high school and can finish college and get a career and have a family. And that's really what high school football is all about. Everybody loves the wins and losses, and all that, but it's like I tell my guys, what good does it do to win every game and win a championship if none of you ever take care of yourselves and have to come back home in 2 years or whatever because you're not mature enough or prepared, to go out on your own and do those things. And I mean, we have a long list of really good kids who do a great job. I mean, Jonathan Burks, our punter, who just talking about, is student body president.
Wow, I did not know that.
Collegiate Academy is a big thing here. Is a big-time program for really high academics that you got to qualify for. And we have several guys in that. John Hartman, a lot of really good students. Aiden Allen's a great student, and a lot of the good players are great students. Connor Murphy and Luke Hayes, and Julian Childress, and we got a great list, and we reward them for making the honor roll and things like that as this 9 weeks coming to a close. And we're a 7-period day, so you're taking 7 classes at once, and honor roll's all A's and B's. And if you have 7 classes, that's really hard to do.
Heck yeah, and then maintain a football job, and because all right. So when do you normally get out of practice?
Yeah, so it's really hard on Mondays because we have practice and then freshman and JV games.
Okay, so let's say you get done at what time? What time will that kid get done?
9 o'clock at night.
Okay, so then Tuesday, what time is he going to get done?
6:30.
Okay, and then Wednesday about 6:30, 6:30.
Yeah.
Today they'll get out at 4 or 5 o'clock, whatever. But so Thursday's really the only day they got to catch up, and maybe a little bit on Tuesday and Wednesday because. Let's be honest. I mean, they're not going to study out their children. They're going to have fun. That's what you want them to do. They got a little extracurricular activity, chasing the girls and everything. But, wow, it's just you don't realize, it's still the same time period I guess it was even when I was back in. I only played freshman and sophomore football, but still we don't realize. We know they're young and we know they can take it, and whether it's a female or a male, making their bodies grow and making them get out here and scholastically and plus athletically. But still, the time is limited when you start to jumble the free time they've got. I mean, because Saturdays, they want to get out and either enjoy college football or go on an unofficial. So, and then Sunday, you got them a little bit, we got to do a little something with them. So, and it just snowballs into the next week, don't it?
It's over and over and over. And, especially for folks in our Collegiate Academy, they're up till 2 or 3 in the morning doing homework on Monday nights. And we've actually had to shorten some of our games for things like that. And, just to give them the opportunity to get caught up because it's literally a college prep program, and in college they don't really make any shortcuts for you. That your job is just to get it done. They don't really care what else you're doing, whether it's sports or working. So it's a challenge. But I think our kids do a great job of handling it and trying to manage that time.
Boy, the county, I think we've done a real good job this year. I don't, as far as all around, we don't have that many. I haven't seen that many unsportsmanlike conducts. The chippiness hasn't been there like it used to be. I mean, I used to see some chippiness back in 10 years ago. I mean, you thought, it was going to be really bad, but.
Yeah, well, it's from, I thought about that Blackman Riverdale game. I don't think there was a single unsportsmanlike conduct in the game.
You go back 10 years ago, there have been 3 on both sides.
Yeah, and there might have been one in the Oakland Blackman game, maybe, and I don't it wasn't between the teams, but it's been competitive and clean, and I think just over time the kids have realized that silly things like that hurt the team more than they do your own personal pride of getting one of those unnecessary flags. And, it's credit to all the staffs around and how they're running their program.
I got to ask you, you're in your second year of coaching and as a head coach and everything, and what's the biggest thing you think has changed as far as you and what you didn't know about the job? It's everything but coaching, probably is what you're going to tell me. It's a lot of administrative and a lot of things. What's been the biggest thing that the first day you started as a head coach, what's changed as far as your philosophy from the first day up to here we are getting ready to play Game 7?
Yeah, I guess several things other than just the obvious head coaching responsibilities. But to not sell the kids short and hold them to a standard and their ability, they will meet it if you hold them to it and force them to get there. As far as your expectations in the program and things like that, whereas a year ago in my first year, you didn't know if you was gonna, demand this or want them to do this or that or whatever, and if they could do it, and what's the discipline here.
You was giving a little rope. And you was giving a little rope.
And that's probably the biggest difference this year is just holding the kids more accountable and to a higher standard, and it's actually been no problem for them. And I've been high on our senior class all year, and I think they've kind of set that bar for the rest of the time.
Great. Let's talk about your opponent, Rockville Rockets, and we make no bones about it. We're transparent all the way around. I haven't had a chance to talk to Coach Rice. I know he's tied up with some situations and everything, but a game's a game. Season goes on. Nobody stops this thing. What's your situation for tomorrow night? What's your game plan? Knowing what you're going against, what you're going to try to do.
Yeah, we'll definitely want to keep Coach Rice and his family in our prayers.
Absolutely.
And what they're going through. It's just very unfortunate, and we're thinking about them.
God's in control.
No doubt. And, as far as the game, we want to just play to our standard, be our identity, be tough, be physical, on both sides of the ball, play a clean game in special teams, and just compete. We want to compete in everything that we do, and just play to the expectation we're supposed to play at each and every Friday and make it about Blackman like we do every day, and not let the opponent, whether they're great or not as good or whatever,
you're getting what I wanted.
How we play.
Yeah.
And that probably bit us in the tail a few weeks ago. Getting it out of perspective and trusting the preparation and what you've done. So they're a growing program, developing. We all know that just the challenge that they have of playing with younger kids, and I know a lot of them. It's half of my team from last year. Younger freshman kids. And
thank you for reminding the people that you had them in the weight room and you didn't let off the gas.
No, we kept them
Coach
in the
Rice
weight room.
has talked about that. Kit and Will both did a heck of a job, Stork, of getting my kids what I had. I'm pleased.
Yeah, we allowed them to stay in weightlifting, even though we knew they were going to Rockville, and they still worked out every day like our team, and invited them to come to agilities. Didn't make it mandatory, but wasn't going to tell them that they couldn't come all the way up until spring practice. So just a lot of relationships. You don't know where that kid
could end up. He could end up back in your zone or something. He could move.
Yeah, there ain't no telling.
Yeah, you never know. Well, anything for I was coming in and I saw the new flags and everything. Boy, this school, this school's been here for quite some time, but there's always a few finishing touches and a few add-ons, and Lawless and they just do a great job here, don't they?
Yeah, they have worked their tail off at least the last 4 years that I've been here of making the campus and facilities just top notch, and they've been the head of everything that we've done. And we have new scoreboard, new rock, nice rock under that, and the front entrance and the fancy gate and all that stuff is really just the hard work they put in. That they didn't have to do it, but they care about the school as a whole. And
boy, it looks good on camera when we bring it up on Stork Vision. I mean, people say, man, you film some great schools, man. I said, I'm a lucky dude.
And not to mention, there's been a lot going on with baseball. These buildings were painted out here freshly, and we have this turf field. It's just something always going on here, and there's just a lot of people and a great community to be in.
There is a Hall of Fame you're getting ready to have real soon. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's the first induction for the Hall of Fame 20th year anniversary for Blackman High School, and I believe that's coming up in November.
Yeah.
I know David Price, Octavius Mathers. I'm bad about memorizing all of them. Stevens, for basketball.
Mm-hmm.
There's five inductees and in the first class, and it's just a special time to kind of see how far the school's come in 20 years and how fast and how things change so quickly.
Absolutely. Anything else you'd like to say, or just say to your fans and about game tomorrow night? We'll talk next week.
Oh yeah, just look forward to a great atmosphere. I know Rockville's had great support. I know our fans will travel and be there for our kids, and
it ain't that far.
No, it ain't far at all. And we'll do our best to give them a good show.
Well, the only thing about it is better leave a little early. The traffic gets a little thick out there on Salem Highway, because I tell you what, it gets down to that single lane. It's dripping.
I heard it was one way in, one way out.
It'd be a little bit like Riverdale. All right, kids, tomorrow night y'all gather up and head out to Rockville and see the Blackman Blaze and the Rockville Rockets. Kickoffs at 7.